Hello there and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I want to show you a quick replay in the Centurion Mk.5 AVRE. I already made a video about this tank and some sort of first impressions, and I gave it not the very best verdict. Why? Because the gun has a lot of issues. However, as a dub it is not that bad. Now what I want to show you is one of the most ridiculous games that I think I had in, weeks and months. And I'm talking here about the factor of being ridiculous. It is far from being any sort of your average gameplay. The situation was just very unreal, and it ended kind of with a bit of a problem, with kind of a, broken heart syndrome, because the match could have ended differently, but I digress. So when I talk about a tank in terms of giving it a verdict, there are different factors that I want to point out, and it's just a quick remember before we go into the match that it is a tier 5 premium that has no alternative, and as such I actually treated it in my recommendation or not recommendation. And you have to think about, with this tank you have to get the RP for your challenger, your chieftains, hell, even your ATGMs, or in my case the chieftain marksman. And with a tank that is very situational, depends to have a lot of support from your team, you don't get those situations very often. In contrast, the tier 4 premiums, Black Prince even, and the STRV-81 of course, they are all-rounders. For many situations they're just better suited. There is a tank like 400-500 meters away, you just point your gun at him, pull the trigger, and you hit him. You do the damage and then you deal accordingly with it. You use your strength and try to avoid your weaknesses. With the Centurion Mk.5 AVRE, you're a bit at the mercy of the enemy team and your team. And in the following replay, and I had to re-record here the replay because of course when I have such an awesome game I forget to put the record button or push it. And so I hope you don't mind, but certain situations might become a bit clearer when it then comes to the replay. So the Centurion Mk.5 AVRE is an absolute derp tank. It has a massive, 165mm demolition charge projector. That is a weird name for something like a gun or a howitzer or a mortar, whatever you want to call it, and so it behaves. It's also a little bit the mobility of the tank that is a bit of a problem, but it's not just the straightforward speed, it's actually when you press a certain combination of tanks to react to an enemy. That actually cost me my life at the end. So I hope you enjoy. And this is the place where it all happened, Port Novorossiysk. Exactly on this domination iteration of the map, I made a, map guide already, and there you can rewatch my overall thinking. It's a bit theoretical, but it is not, polluted with gameplay. But I digress. So in a nutshell, I want to hold down the position between the buildings at sea. It is a very nice location for certain tanks that have overall strong capabilities. Might it be a strong gun, might it be armor, might it be something else like the feature of a stabilizer where you can just duel it out in close quarters, or in particular a derp tank. And this is what this tank is. It doesn't really matter where you hit the enemy, and you just do massive damage. So this is a very aggressive push, make no mistake. You could easily be taken out by a Panther or by something else that just comes around the corner, but this RE251 had absolutely no idea that I was there, that I was already in this situation. And now there is a very rare situation for me, because I have company with a tank that has a much more suitable gun for this environment, I guess, or especially a gun that has a much higher rate of fire and gives actually the enemy something else to shoot. So that's a very selfish thought, but you have to work with your teammates, and there is a Tiger 2, and then I actually that was nasty. You know, with the ready racks now in the back of the turrets, even such a hit is devastating. That was very poorly aimed. Nevertheless, I got the kill. That's my second kill already. And the reload on this 165mm something, you know, British tank designs, is pretty long, 22 seconds for me. So it's actually worth retreating behind cover. If an enemy spots you, he has to spend, well, very precious seconds to go and to go after you. Now I wanted to go forwards. The M41 Walker Bulldog goes backwards and he is continuously shooting something. So I need to investigate. The problem in this situation is I cannot really go somewhere. I have to expose my side. I have no idea what's wrong with this guy. He just didn't even look into my direction. I think this is a strength of the situation, or the position rather, that the enemies just want to look down the road and not down your barrel. Makes it all the more easier for me. So 3 very easy kills where the enemy didn't really see me. But the question is, could I have done this with another tank? Yes. Is it as equally fun? Probably not. But I think in another tank there is something that I really didn't mention so far. In another tank I would act much more aggressively. This is just my overall playstyle, but also in many situations you need to go aggressively in, where there are multiple tanks and you need to take them out in quick succession. However, to take out a Tiger in that tank, well, it's not difficult, but the damage output of the hair shell when it hits flat armor is insane. But there is another tank, but the Walker Bulldog and also the Soki go in. And what the hell did this Tiger 2 think? He just simply didn't see me. And wow, that was massive damage. Took out the gun breach and also a lot of the crew, but I didn't blow up his ammo. And I also, well, just didn't kill him in one shot despite hitting a very good spot. Now I drive sideways on. And then that situation goes really hot. Night begins. There is an MX-13 and he just didn't see me. I hit the gun barrel and blow his ATGMs up. Then I launch some smoke. The Tiger 2 is still repairing. Thank you, German repair times. And I think I'm pretty safe. But then something shoots into the smoke. And I want to just maneuver, but I just can't. And then my engine gets hit and gets set on fire. And that is a couldn. So I want to shoot somewhere in the raw direction where it goes, or where the shells are coming from. And yeah, that was not a very good shot. I mark him with the machine gun, and then he actually gets shot in the back. So that's the only reason why he doesn't finish me off. And the Tiger 2, well, his gun breach is still knocked out. And then the couldn gets smoked, gets set on fire, and I can blow up the Tiger 2, and also the couldn gets killed by a Hellcat. So now I can repair it. That was already ridiculous. That was one of the most intense situations that I had in quite some time, where I actually get out of alive. Well, you know, it's very difficult to bring the excitement of how you feel in that situation in a post commentary to life. But I think it would have been hilarious if I would have streamed this. Quick answering this, I want to stream, but thanks to my internet quality I cannot do so. I just don't have the capacity nor the, well, overall... it's difficult to explain, but I just simply can't do it. Believe me, I'd love to try, but I can't. And then I want to investigate C. So what's going on there? I'm coming from an unexpected angle. A lot of my tanks are actually pointing with their guns in this direction. I expect something to be in the smoke here, but I'm not quite sure. Then this Panther opens up with his machine gun and he shoots. And that gives me enough time to come around the corner and just blap him. Easy as that. 7th kill. And then this situation happens. I see the AMX 13, and with a quicker reload gun I could have disabled him and eventually killed him. And this is the situation where it gets really, really mad. I see this T-44-100. I am halfway through my 22-second reload, and now I want to angle my armor in such a way that I don't expose my side armor, but the problem is the low horsepower to ton ratio of the AVRE. As you can see, I tried to reverse and angle, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't react, and then I get knocked out. Just like this. I survived so many ridiculous situations in this battle. I got very easy kills. The stars aligned themselves so well for me up until Russia said no. But I just wanted to show you this battle because I think it sheds a new light on the AVRE. In some situations you can derp tanks, but those were very close range shots, point blank range if you will, under 100 meters. The enemies didn't look into my direction. I was not really getting shot at, and yeah, that was the most hilarious battle on Port Novorossiysk that I had in a long time. I hope you enjoyed this battle. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know if you had something like this in your War Thunder experience recently, and as usual, don't forget to give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the waves, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.